I downloaded TikTok in September 2020. The first two people I ever saw in the Narc Talk community was Lovely Lady Love and Mental Healness. I really loved Kelly's Narcissism 101 series. And then there was Lee, the most controversial man on Narc Talk. You want to know the very first thing I thought when I saw a self-aware narcissist? So they can change? They can get better? So there's hope? I immediately became attached to the idea that if he can change, then my situation could change. If his wife convinced him to change, then I could do the same. But if you actually listen to Lee talking, his wife didn't convince him to change. And he's a narcissist. He was a narcissist then, and he's a narcissist now. He's just a narcissist in therapy. One thing I think a lot of us really struggle with is the idea that we're not good enough to change for. And so I think that a huge part of the reason why Lee Hammock is so controversial is because his very existence reminds us that we weren't good enough to change for. But one thing we know is that that's not how change works. Real, authentic change doesn't come from trying to change for someone else. They have to want to change for themselves. And that's what Lee is trying to do. And so this kind of obsessive hate parade that people have for Lee sometimes really has me thinking. The people who really hate on him are struggling with their own feelings of rejection. I think that he brings something up in people, sort of like he inadvertently makes you feel like your partner didn't think you were good enough to change for. And even though that's really not how change works, I get it. He's not for everyone. I get it. There's really three kinds of people here. The people who like Lee and think that he's helping. The people who are triggered by Lee, block him, and want nothing to do with him. And then there's the people who obsessively post about him, constantly hating on him. You know the people I'm talking about. The ones that are like, I guarantee you he gets supply from this. It's almost like Lee says that himself all the time. My personal view is that I prefer to view Lee as a person who is trying to do better. And isn't that really what we should all be wanting? Yeah, there's no cure. He's a narcissist. He will always be a narcissist. But guess what? He's also a human being. If he gets more narcissists to make an attempt for therapy, good job, Lee. If he helps survivors feel validated and feel like they can understand the experience that they've had, good job, Lee. So if you don't like self-aware narcissists, trust me, block him. No judgment. But if you appreciate what he's doing, then maybe also follow raw motivations. I respect what anybody decides to do with these self-aware narcissists, except the hate parade.